Good morning, CTM Monarchs. This is Dr. C coming to you from the office of the principal at Coleridge Taylor Montessori on this beautiful Sunday afternoon on the 27th of February. As always, our vision at Coleridge Taylor Montessori is to empower all students to achieve academic success, socio-emotional growth, and the development of global and cultural competencies that will ensure future success. Our mission at Coleridge Taylor Montessori is to provide a safe, hands-on, rigorous learning experience rooted in the Montessori method. In partnership with students, parents, caregivers, and staff, we will support the growth and potential of each and every child. And our core values at CTM are empathy, respect, equity, collaboration, and academic success. We are here working very hard at CTM on our 3 KDE improvement priorities. The first one is about teaching and learning, providing high expectations and rigor for all students so that we can together as a system improve. Our second improvement priority is to monitor the school's behavior management system that supports a safe learning environment and positive school culture for all. And our third is ensuring that our staff have purposeful professional development for all staff that supports the faculty, staff, and school's continuous improvement. Attendance counts. School begins at 9:05. Students should be in their classrooms by 9:05 each day. And in the coming weeks, we have some very action-packed mornings. So the sooner students get to school on time, the better off they can be to learn and be prepared. So we're finishing up our Black History Month celebration at the beginning of this week, and we are going to be starting our Women's History celebration for Her Story instead of history this week, and we'll be celebrating women's history for the entire month of March. A reminder, there's no school for students on March 7th. That is a professional development day for staff. An additional reminder, no classes except for Miss Kongs at this point have been given permission to take their Chromebooks home. Teachers are asking to take those Chromebooks home or send them home on individual bases by class and by teacher. At this point, we know our COVID numbers are dropping markedly, but we are still in that place where the pandemic has not gone away. So please keep your eyes peeled for any kind of communication from JCPS about school closures or remote learning days. If your child's been in contact with a positive case of COVID-19 and has been quarantined, please see the proceeding or the information in the bottom of the newsletter about how to follow up with the school. We're still doubling down on our COVID mitigations. Masks should be up, hands are being washed, and we should be spaced out. I still and will always encourage you to get yourself and your child vaccinated. We know that vaccinations help keep people out of the hospital with severe COVID infections. So please consider getting yourself and your child vaccinated. Again, sick students should not be coming to school for any reason. If they're vomiting, they have diarrhea, they have a runny nose, they have a fever, sore throat, they should stay home, and you should contact your medical provider for next steps. And you can also call our school or health services at 485-3387 for help and next steps. COVID testing is every Wednesday, assuming that we're in school. So please consider signing up for testing and signing your kid up for testing. Details are in the bottom of the newsletter. And weather is supposed to be beautiful this week, but because it's still kind of the beginning of that spring changeover, it's important that students are wearing appropriate clothing. Long pants, legs should be covered. They should have a jacket or a coat. It's important that they are dressed to go outside because part of our Montessori framework is that as long as the weather is permitting, we are outside at least once a day. If you have questions about that or your child has a special medical condition, let us know. So, what's happening in classrooms this week that supports improvement priority number 1? Classroom instruction that's rigorous. Last week, we had 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade proficiency meetings where we talked about what it's going to take to get our students where they want to go and where they need to be academically so that they can be ready for the next grade. We still have a good chunk of this year. This was kind of a reset for a lot of our students, refocus. We just came off of our parent-teacher conferences. It was a great time to talk with our kids about how to get prepared academically for the next stage of this year and next year and beyond. And as we are working on that and we're getting closer to being back to normal, we're continuing to tighten up those instructional expectations for students. We talked to them about the work is going to be looking a little different. They're going to be experiencing some more challenge so that we can get them ready for the next grade. We are also going to start WIN time this week. It will be Tuesday through Friday, and WIN time is scheduled every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 9:15 to 9:45. That's why it's so important that your students are on time and in class before the bell rings, okay? It is important that students are on time or in class before the bell rings so that they can get situated to be prepared for morning meeting and the opening of WIN time. So WIN time is going to be based on students' map data and efforts to focus on what they need in reading, language arts, math, and writing. Students are going to be set up in these WIN groups. They're new WIN groups. They're different than what they had last year. There might be, or last round, there might be some kids that are together with the same teachers or staff. Some of them might be with the same students, but overwhelmingly, all the groups are going to change. So what we're going to be doing is that students will be moving into different groups by grade level within their pods. So additional staff will also enter the pods to support students by grade level in small groups. And so we'll be doing a combination of small group instruction, maybe a little larger group instruction, and then some one-on-one as necessary, and then also some computer-based work for our kiddos based on what they need. Improvement priority 2 is focusing on behavior management. We've had a great reduction in behaviors across our building this year as compared to our last in-person school year of 1920. And I know that that is based on the commitment of our staff, the attention of our students, and the support of our parents. So we want to continue to encourage you to support that proper, appropriate school behavior at home. You talk about it at home, and we talk about it at school. So those big 3 things, and Dr. Mathis calls these the keys to success: kind words, kind actions, hands, body, and objects to self, and stay in your area. Those are the big Monarch 3 that we're focusing on this year. As always, mental health requests, if you have one for yourself or for your students, please reach out. There's a link in the body of the newsletter for you to complete a request form, and Miss Metcalf, our school guidance counselor, or Mr. Randy will reach out to you. And if you also have concerns about your child's mental health provider that has been set up for the child to meet with them here at school, please reach out to Miss Metcalf or Randy, and we can support. Again, lots of COVID stuff. If your kid's been in contact with COVID, they need to stay home unless they've been vaccinated, fully vaccinated, and they're showing no symptoms. COVID screening, we do that every Wednesday. It's voluntary. If you sign up for it and you change your mind, you have to go back in and unregister your child for that. All students must have their masks over their nose and mouth unless they have a mask waiver. We only have a couple kids with a mask waiver at CTM, so that means that everybody should have it on. Test to stay. How that's happening right now is every night after your child's been in contact with COVID, every night after that initial notice, they have to go get COVID tested in order to come to school the next day. This option is not available for students that have tested positive, as you can imagine. And then test to play. Right now, we are holding steady on our after-school activities, not starting up simply because we want to make sure that we are mitigating COVID as best we can. So just know that that is something that we are holding on, and we might start it up in the remaining part of the year, but to be determined. Okay. As a reminder, we've had some families continuing to double park on Chestnut Street during arrival. It's unsafe. Please don't do it. Somebody is going to have a bad accident because of this behavior. That's all I have for you. Have a great magical Montessori week. If you need something, reach out to me, and I'm more than happy to help. Take care.